Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Weekly. Guys, I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer, and of course, as usual, I have Cat Comic Uno with me, and today Brant made his way back onto the show, so welcome back, Brant.
Thanks. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Guys, we're going to have a great show for you today. We got a lot of great news pieces. We're definitely going to analyze that Ten of Swords tournament. We're going to go through the points and how people won certain things and also get your opinions on what you guys think of that. But of course, we're going to talk about some of the other news pieces first. So I'm going to hand it over to Kat. Go ahead and kick it off, Kat.
Yeah, so we actually have a lot of news pieces this week, which is nice because we haven't had a lot in recent weeks. So we're going to start out with the media news first and then get into comic news. So first up, I just told Mike about this. Venom's going to be in Fortnite. That was announced today.
I think that's kind of cool. I'm like, it's like, yeah, man, let's use Venom. Like, why would you not want to have him? I'm kind of curious to see what his like skill set will be, like what kind of powers he would be, and it would be kind of weird though to see Venom hold a gun though, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know, unless he uses like a symbiotic gun,
He's
or
Agent Venom, maybe
he's Agent Venom. Yeah, maybe he's that. I could see that happening.
Could be when they did Thanos, because that's the last one of those I played, which was the first one. When they did Thanos, he didn't have like traditional weapons; he just had the gauntlet, and he had powers. So they did cool. So it might be the same with Venom. He'll just use his symbiotic powers.
And they're a limited time, right? So they're only there for a little while, or like Thanos still there?
No, it's a limited time. I don't remember how long exactly, but yeah, it might be a whole season. I'm not sure. Or it might be like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. I'm not sure.
Cool. I know people have their opinions on the Fortnite stuff, but I still think it's really cool that you get more people to hopefully read some comics through this.
Yeah,
So Venom of all characters, I'm sure we'll get a lot of people. So this one I'm going to talk about quickly. There's a lot of Black Lightning news this week. And that is that Grace Choi is going to be a regular, and the CW is planning on another spinoff, but this time with Painkiller. So Painkiller was Lightning's boyfriend, and he's like side character of side characters. So I'm like, why is he getting his own show? That's a little strange. And Grace Choi is great. I love that she's going to be a series regular. I am behind on the show by like half a season. Maybe one day I'll catch up. The Grace Choi news definitely gives me a little bit more of an inkling to want to watch more because I really liked her, and I want to see where Anissa's relationship goes with her. I don't think anyone else watches Black Lightning here, or even.
I watched the first season. I might have watched 1 or 2 episodes of the second season, and I kind of fell off of it. Yeah,
I didn't even watch one episode. I've never even seen nothing. I don't know anything about it.
I think it's worth watching the first season. The one thing I love the family. It's just a slow show. It's a lot of the same things happening. So it's because it's the same villain every season. But I like the characters. I just wish that they did a little bit more every season. But maybe this is, turning the tides for them. Painkiller, man. I'm shocked he's getting a show. Especially because, like, the Canaries and the Green Arrow show doesn't look like it's getting picked up. You would think that one would get picked up before.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I definitely would watch that. So this is actually the big news from this week, media-wise, and this will actually tie into one of our comic news pieces. But the Wonder Girl that's going to be from the Future State comics is getting her own ongoing after this. And then also she's getting her own CW show, which I think is super cool. Now, the one thing I'm hoping with Wonder Girl, though, is that we explore Themyscira as a whole. Like, I hope it's not just like, well, she used to be from Themyscira, and now she's, like, going to high school. Like, I want to see Themyscira. I think that'd be really, really cool. Maybe see other Wonder Woman-related characters. As for the comic, go get that Future State book, because it's going to be such a big spec book. You should get that first issue. It makes Future State feel like it means a little bit more that we're getting such a huge new character. So I'm definitely interested.
Yeah,
it's great.
I think it's.
Sorry,
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, I think it's crazy, like how this character is so popular, based off of Future State, right? I mean, we don't know really anything about her. She, as far as I know, she did make an appearance though in a Wonder Woman annual before. I think as like a small girl or whatnot, but not as what she's going to be when you see her in Future State. But that's wild, man.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I think it's cool. Basically, I don't know anything about the character, but you know, I think it's cool that they're exploring one of the characters from the Mascara. You know, somebody from that world. Something we haven't seen in a while, and the Wonder Woman stuff on the small screen never really took off. So yeah, why not do a Wonder Girl and a different Wonder Girl that we don't know from the comics yet? So that's cool.
I'm guessing we're all going to get Immortal Wonder Woman, which I think we're already going to get Immortal Wonder Woman, but this pushes us a little bit more to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into some more comic news here. Man-Bat is rescheduled for 2021, which is interesting because we've gotten so many canceled series from DC, but they're like, no, we need Man-Bat.
We need Man-Bat. It's going to happen. People want their Bat books, whether it's a Man-Bat, Mr. Freeze, you know, whoever's connected to the Batman universe, we're going to bring it to you. So I think part of it, though, is they need something else besides, like, Future State. And so they're trying to put out any book possible at that point.
Yeah.
I swear.
What are you going to say, Brent?
I was going to say, I swear, I'm done when Batmite gets his ongoing series next.
You gave up on comics then?
Nope, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't need a Batmite series. Although that probably would be like the best series somehow. I don't. It's interesting because like with Marvel, a lot of the books that were delayed, they never really canceled them. Some of them are like becoming new volumes. Like you have Ghost Spider that took like a little hiatus, but it's coming back. With the same creator doing like the Carnage stuff. We have Valkyrie coming back with the same creator. So it's just kind of weird that DC did put the hammer down on so many titles. And again, they're like, Man-Bat. Yeah, we got to keep this one.
Like, yes. Well, it's probably obviously already done.
Yeah,
so
probably.
It's just like, let's just put it out. So just in case, you know, nobody wants to read Future State, you got that Man-Bat series to read.
Yeah, just in case you really don't want to read Future State or make money with that Wonder Girl appearance. They're like, no, I'm gonna invest in Man-Bat. All right, let's get into this is a big topic for at least me and Brant. Well, you know, I might actually save that for last because it'll tie into what we're going to talk about before comics. But all right, let's talk about the Valentine's anthology. Poison Ivy and Harley are going to lead it. The reason this is news is because I feel like DC Comics hates Harley and Poison Ivy. They never want them together. They never have an opportunity just to be together. And I love them. I love them, especially in the Harley Quinn TV show. So I'm hoping this is DC saying, oh, people like this. Maybe we should actually do more of it. I'm actually going to get that anthology just for them. All right, and probably just read that story and just not read anything else because those anthologies usually, there's like one story.
This is a book, though, they come out with recently, like every year as of late, where they have this Valentine's Day special. And so, you know, I heard about it, and then I saw anthology next to it. I'm like, hard pass.
Yeah. That's how kind of how I feel as well. It's like it's cool, but at the same time, we always invest in these anthologies, and it's just like one or two stories out of them, and it's, you know, it's disappointing. And
it's going to be like $10 too.
Yeah, if you tell us it's amazing cat, maybe, you know, at that point.
It's going to take a lot. I probably will just say, Harley and Poison Ivy were great. It's like the rest of it wasn't worth it. I might get it digitally. I don't even know if I'm going to pay for it physically. I'm going to probably just get it off Comixology. I don't need it in my box. I'm just like, all right, for one story. Yeah. I don't need to do that. We actually do have a question from two people here. I think they're a little confused about Future State. They were saying like, oh, is it gonna change? Oh, this is Sweet Exorcist. I think Future State's gonna be a big reboot. I really hope they make Future State exclusive to DC Universe app. Well, they're definitely not making it exclusive to the Universe app because it's physically coming out. But also they've mentioned that Future State is not really affecting anything. I guess unless like we're getting this new Wonder Girl character, but I don't. It's not gonna affect multiverses from what I'm hearing.
I think it's just a bunch of stories, and they're going to see kind of who sticks and who doesn't, and they're going to use them going forward on some of those characters. That's why they already got this Wonder Girl thing going, because they're like, ooh, there's a lot of buzz about her. Let's capitalize on that right away. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to pick and choose from those characters. And these stories are coming out because this was the original, I guess, 5G stuff, and they kind of just changed the name. And now it's kind of a stall from December all the way till March, so DC can figure out what they're going to do next. That's basically, I feel, what Future State is. At least that's my opinion of it.
Yeah, I think that's it. What are you going to say, Brent?
I was just basically agreeing. It's like a testing ground for these books and these characters. Yeah, I agree.
We also have another question. I'm going to start out with Brant. What do you guys think about Endless Winter? I want to hear all Brant's thoughts.
I still don't know that much about it, honestly.
They're wearing coats.
Yeah, they're wearing coats. It's cold. It's some, big villain. I don't know what this is all about. So it's like, if there's more information out there, I haven't read it. So
it's about some
me.
Frost King or something like that.
Yeah, some like ancient threat or something. It's gonna, winter is coming. They have to capitalize on that. Way too late. Yeah.
I'm going to try out the first issue, I guess. I decided after the conversation with Mike, I'll try out King in Black #1. If I don't like it, I'm only reading the tie-ins. I stand by
it. You owe me, Kat, anyway, because I said that I would read Baby Teeth.
You did.
Right? And it's here. And you said you would read God Country. So now you have to go get the God Country trade.
Okay, I'm going to buy off Amazon this week.
All right. And I still have to read two more volumes of this, where God Country is a very short series. So
I'm gonna put it in my list right now.
But I must say, this was freaking phenomenal. It was so. Brant, don't read this. This is everything against your.
Definitely not for you.
I read like the first 4 issues.
Did you?
Yeah, and then you dropped it.
I dropped. I just fell behind on it and never went back to it. It's one of those things. So it must not have grabbed me quite as much. But
I can tell you though, like, it reads really good in trade. Like, I was flying through it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. Like, I just love like Kat said when we were chatting about like the family dynamic and everything about the story, about the sister, and it's just a cool page turner, and it's just so. The more I was thinking about it, I'm like, it's so freaking off the wall. It's so wild and out there. Like, how would this woman hold on to this baby? It's so crazy, dude.
Yeah, I like the twists and turns and just the narrative style of her like talking to herself. Yeah,
it was cool. Awesome. Great book.
Read Baby Teeth. I will read I'm going to definitely buy God Country this week after Kickstarter. I'll probably end up reading it, but I am excited to try it out. We do have a question from Jay. Are you guys picking up all the King in Black tie-ins? If I'm not picking up more than issue 1, I don't think I'm going to be picking up all the tie-ins.
Well, Kat last week said that she would read all the tie-ins and not read the main series. I'm like, how can you do that? Like, this is not Empire. This is King in Black. This is something completely different. I'm like,
I could do it.
No. No. Anyway.
Is it tying into the main series? Like,
that's my issue. I think it's going to be kind of heavy on Venom because it's so based in what's going on in Venom, which is obviously not bad. I'm not
I
reading
think if there's a book that you have to read, you got to read the main book, and you have to read Venom, because I think those two stories are going to go pretty close hand in hand with each other. Everything else, I don't think you're probably not going to need to read. However, since Null is not just a threat towards Venom, he's a threat to the entire Earth, to the entire universe. So that's why this event is tying in with all the Marvel books. So I'm going to say you don't have to read all of them, obviously, but it just depends how much you're willing to spend and if you want more of that full experience, you know? I'm going to take that approach to where now that there's so many of them, I'm going to read the ones that that I currently collect, and depending on the rest of the week, if I collect or read even more of those tie-ins. I think Endless Winter is going to be a big determining factor. If I don't like that and I'm not going to read it, then I'm going to buy more of those tie-ins.
Gotcha.
I'm going to get the Gwen tie-in. I think Valkyrie has a tie-in, I think. I'm going to get that.
Yeah, Valkyrie, it does have a tie-in.
Well, that's why I'm like, I can't say no to those.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm not going to say no to Carnage versus Gwenom. That sounds awesome. But, like, I can probably say no to Null. In his name, it kind of has no in it. So.
Yeah, right.
We'll see. But I was doing my pull list, and I wasn't getting a lot that week. So that's why I'm like, all right, I'll try out issue 1. I was getting, like, 9 books. I'm like, why not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why not? I'll try it.
There's a lot of comments. You're going to try it out, Brant? I hope you love it.
Yeah. Me too. Brant's Sorry about the delay, everybody, by the way.
Yeah, it's so well, it's not as bad as we've had in the past.
Yeah, but it's worse than when we started.
I mean, you do tell the truth. Let's see if there's any other comments here about that.
Brent needs some 5G.
He does need some 5G. DC canceled 5G, and now Brant doesn't have the internet, so it really sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been getting this question a lot, but we could, I'm sure, answer it. Are you guys liking the Dark Metal event? I think Mike's the only one who's reading it. I had to read it for work, and I didn't continue reading it after.
I didn't even try it.
There you go. Brant didn't even try it.
Oh, you didn't even try it? It's gone over my head at this point. Like, I liked it, and then it like slowed down, and then we got all these different, like, here we go with tie-in books, but all these tie-in books, and it seems like a lot of those tie-in books did matter, and it extended the story, and then it stopped the momentum of the main series, and that was around issue 4, and at that point, I fell off of it. Like, I'm still reading it, but it's just gone right here. I'm reading it. I'm like, what the heck am I reading? Like, I don't even know what I'm reading anymore because it's so crazy, you know? I think it's a great concept. I think it's a good idea. I think I'm not saying it's a poorly written story, but I think for some people, I think it's just way too much.
Yeah, it was too much for me too. It wasn't my narrative style. All right, let's get into...
Sorry.
You go, Brett.
I was just going to say the idea that it exists was too much for me.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. All right, going into some interesting news. So we have a Avengers book that's going to be all mechas, all during this announcement that the X-Men are maybe crossing over with the Transformers. We don't know what regard Hasbro has mentioned a crossover. We don't know if it's going to be the toys or comics, but then you get this Mecha Avengers book. So I'm really curious of like, why? I'm not going to either of them up, but go Transformers.
The only thing I'll say about X-Men and Transformers, if it is a story of some sort, is that I think that would be kind of cool because they're automatically going to assume that they're like these advanced Sentinels, and then it's like X-Men versus giant robots again. So it's like that aspect of it is cool, but that's probably where it starts and ends for me. Because what do you do with that after that point?
I don't know, but you know what? I'll pay money to read it. I want to see what they would do. I really do. Like, what does Wolverine do with Optimus Prime? What does
Yeah.
Megatron, do with, like, who knows what the other bad guys would be? With Megatron and Magneto, like, who knows? Like, do the Transformers invade Krakoa?
I gotta tell you,
does Blackbird become a Transformer?
Magneto and Polaris against the Transformers. That would be interesting.
Yes, that would be crazy right there.
I think no matter what, unless Kitty Pryde was a Transformer, I'm not gonna be picking it up. That'd be freaking amazing. That'd be like, whoa.
Why the Avengers need mechs? I don't get. But maybe it's like Power Rangers or Voltron. They each have their mech and they transform and they turn into one gigantic robot machine, right? And you know who's going to head it all? Tony Stark, Iron Man. He's the one that's going to create them all.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's like, it depends on which characters they use, right? So like if it's Hawkeye and Iron Man and some characters like that, it makes sense. But if it's like She-Hulk, what the heck would she do with a mecha?
What would Hawkeye do with like a mech? Like, what would you make his mech out of? Like,
I don't know. Maybe a giant bow and arrow.
Is it just a bigger version of him? You know what I'm saying? Like robot Hawkeye.
It's a bird. It's a bird, and his wings turn into a bow and arrow somehow. I don't know.
I won't find out, but I'm excited for you guys, and sounds awesome.
I think I'm going to read it just to laugh. I want to see what
you will find out because we're going to read it and talk about it on this show. just to annoy you.
I'm going to put in the big books as well. Just get ready. I actually want to hear how this story unfolds. I'm invested in. Oh man, I have to check. The Mecha series. Well, the X-Men Transformers. 2021. You guys gotta wait for your robots. It comes out
2021.
They just say 2021. They actually don't have the date. It says writer Jed McKay will team up in 2021 for Avengers Mech Strike, a new 5-issue limited series in which several Avengers will don powerful suits of battle armor to take out an alien foe. If you look at the image, I honestly can't tell you who's in it. Spider-Man looks like Black Widow has a mecha. Iron Man, Black Panther, Thor, Captain Marvel.
They all have mechs.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a crazy one for sure. Yeah, it doesn't have a date, sadly, or not sadly.
I'm gonna read
February.
it.
February. It says in the end.
Oh yes, it's gonna come out on my birthday. That's when I'm gonna. Yep.
It's gonna be a great celebration.
It's gonna be the best series ever to be created. I mean, this could be the funnest thing you ever read, or this could be the Avengers' lowest point in history. And Brant froze. He's completely frozen now.
Yeah, he was very concerned about something, and now he's just gone. Hopefully he comes back. We'll see. I do want to thank. I'm going to give out a shout out to Justin. In the comments, I realized somebody from Comic Book Weekly, because I had the referral link, backed up like Probably Daughter for $50. So thank you so much.
Nice.
I really appreciate that. I'll keep the link going. So if you guys could back it up, that'd be great. We're going to talk more about the Kickstarters after. Hopefully when Brant comes back. Endless Winter got to Brant. Yeah, it seems like it did. All right, let's get into some more news here. We have the creative team of Three Jokers. So Geoff Johns had a lot of news this week. They want to do a sequel, which definitely was known. Even when I did an interview with Jason Fabik, he kind of said the same thing. So I said, was this going to be affecting the DC universe? I said, hey, we leave enough tidbits for a sequel to happen. It all depends if they want it. And I think it's even more interesting to see, is DC going to be taking the avenue of doing more books like Three Jokers out of continuity instead of ongoing books? Like, is that the route they're going to end up taking with a lot of their books? I still want continuity books, but I wouldn't mind that, because I feel like then we get at least some characters we might have not gotten in a beginning, middle, and end story, which is always nice, instead of canceled books.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, you don't need everything to be in continuity. It's like it could be just an elsewhere world story that doesn't have to take place in continuity. It could be just a separate Batman story. You know what I'm saying? Like that Three Jokers, story is perfect for something like that. It doesn't have to connect in continuity. It doesn't have to go into the main universe. Why can't somebody just write their own short Batman story just like that? And that's it. And we're fine with it. Not everything has to be in continuity. And that's, I think that's one of the problems with comics today is that everyone is so stuck on continuity. Don't get me wrong. I like continuity too. It makes sense. But people complain about, well, this continuity and that continuity, and this is my, Batman, and this is the Batman I grew up. Why don't they remember something that happened 60 years ago? Well, you know how much writing and reading they have to do to kind of connect all that continuity together. So every once in a while, it's good to see, you can see the stories that we enjoy that are actually not in continuity, right? Three Jokers, Batman, The White Knight, stories like that. Those are the stories that we tend to latch on to. And it's just like, hey, those are not in continuity. I mean, am I right about that?
No, I agree with you. I think that's what made we didn't actually talk about Three Jokers at all. And I know people didn't love Three Jokers. I actually really liked it. And I liked the ending. And I liked that it was kind of out of continuity and it was its own thing. And it had the freedom to, spoiler alert, but this is weeks ago, for for her dad to finally find out she's Batgirl, to have this kind of maybe potential Jason Barbara relationship. This really interesting dynamic between Joe Chill and Batman. I feel like in regular continuity, there's restraints because of continuity. So it's kind of cool to get a story like this where there was no holds bar.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's great. And I think stories like that are needed. It's kind of a breath of fresh air, and so that's what's going to be interesting about this whole future state thing. Like what's going to happen in DC going forward after that. So we say it's not a reboot. They say it's not a reboot, but what are we going to get introduced? Because after future state, there's like no books. We have no characters as of right now. And we're not going to see that until we get the solicits, after future state comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we're going to find out anytime soon, but we'll see. People are asking where Brant went. Hopefully he'll come back. His internet went out. He's going to try restarting it. All right, let's get into the big other Geoff Johns news here, which is he's getting an Image comic with Gary Frank. It's going to be called Geiger. And damn, this is like huge. Geoff Johns going into an indie book. Like, I'm definitely going to get this. First of all, the art team and just creative team is great. And I think this is a big wave for comics, just to see like a guy that was always the big two delve into his own work like this.
Yeah, but this was a book that I think he was talking about how it was supposed to originally go as a DC book under his own line, under his own imprint for DC. And it did not happen. So that's why he took it to Image instead. So that's what was supposed to happen. So
okay, I didn't know
that. That's when I read the article. That's what it said. So I was like, so that fell through his whole imprint thing, and so he took it to Image. And I know you mentioned it. You're like, oh, well, maybe that's why Watchmen or Doomsday Clock wound up getting delayed, because they were working on that comic that whole time also.
Oh, for sure. I think so. Maybe he had more passion for this new project than Doomsday Clock in the end. But yeah, this is huge for Image Comics. And, you're just seeing a lot of creators do that. Like Scott Snyder is a big one where he's not leaving superhero books, but he's definitely like stepping back from the big events and doing like smaller projects for DC and working on his indie books. And you're just seeing a lot more of that. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We talked about that last week too, where we saw those big creators doing their own independent work, because it covers their butt when they do that, So I'm excited for it. The story sounded interesting on what was presented. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up when that comes out.
Yeah, oh, me too. We'll definitely have a huge conversation about that one. All right, let's go into the last news piece, which I'm sad that Brant's not here for this one. But comics on Kickstarter has garnered $22 million thus far this year, which we'll definitely get into our topic for before we get into the comics. But yeah, Kickstarter is doing extremely well. I do think that 3-month gap of not having direct market books really helped Kickstarter. Also, we have some bigger names, like I just discussed, the Scott Snyder stuff. We're seeing them use different avenues besides the direct market to connect with their fans and their audience. And Kickstarter has been a big avenue for that. Even just this month, we've had creators like Ed Breeson, Mike Oming, Justin Jordan. And this is just this month. Every month, there's like Kyle Higgins was last month. So we're seeing a lot of creators. And we're even seeing on Twitter them deciding like, oh, I think I might do a Kickstarter. So it's really cool to see. And Brant's finally here. Yay. We're talking about the $22 million on Kickstarter, Brant.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's the comics category on Kickstarter has grown so much this year, and it's crazy because back in April, I think it was when COVID first started and everything, it kind of went dead for a bit, and then once that initial phase passed, it just like blew up, and there's more projects on there than ever. In the comics category, so it's amazing, and it's just so many creators, both on every level, are discovering the possibilities that there are with Kickstarter, and it's really exciting as a Kickstarter creator to see that growth.
Which that gets us into our Kickstarters, which we're going to talk about. Also, I mentioned, thank you again, Justin, for giving money during this campaign, during this live show. So what we're going to do, if you guys give anything, $1 even, to any of our campaigns, Brant will hopefully let me know if his campaign gets something from the Comic Book Weekly, or you could let us know in the chat if you backed it up during this. We will keep you on the ticker tape in the bottom that you donated, because we really appreciate it. We want to give you a shout out. And again, $1 means a lot. It really does. So we're going to keep you on the bottom and showcase that you guys have donated. Now, since I talked about my project last time, I'm going to let Brant talk about his first for this.
Okay. So do I need to pull it up?
Yeah, if you want to screen share it. You should be ready, but you're not, and that's horrible.
I kind of am. I've actually got it open, so that's something.
Okay, good.
I just want to make sure I don't open the wrong one where I'm writing an update. So let's see. There we go. You see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so The Last Ember Hunted, issue 1. This is technically issue 2 of the series, but it's a bold new direction for the series. We got a brand new creative team. It's about a teenage girl that develops these fire abilities, and she learns later on that she is a fire goddess incarnate, the last of her kind. In this arc, there is actually a serial killer hunting down powered beings like her. And so she's got that to deal with. She's got school bullies to deal with. She's got some family drama going on. We showed in our preview pages that her brother finds out that she has these powers, so that she's going to be dealing with that. There's much more to come. I'll scroll down, and there's the beautiful cover by Federico Sabatini and Andrea Celestini. I'm so in love with the look of this book. I've wanted to work with this team for a really long time. Down to the previews. That's one of our variant covers right there. From
that's the one I got. I love that.
Francesco Tomaselli. Yeah, he's amazing. I have another variant cover coming probably next week. This is some of the art here. I love the look of this book. This is kind of how I've envisioned Ember since the beginning, and I'm so fortunate that I'm able to work with these guys now. And I'm just excited. This is a new character we're introducing, Quincy. He's going to become a major player. Tiana, which was in the variant cover, she's going to be a major player throughout this series going forward. So it's just, I'm so excited about the direction this book is going. So if you'd like to check it out, you can check it out at embercomic.com/hunted. And we are fast approaching 50% funding. We just launched yesterday afternoon, so we're doing really well so far. And please check it out if you can.
Yeah, please do. It's a great series. Do you want to show the crossover print?
Yeah,
we're gonna do that as well. And also, I realized Brant didn't get to talk about some of the news pieces. So after this, maybe if you wanted to talk about any of them.
Okay. Let's see, where did I put it? There it is. Yeah. So this piece, it's again by Federico and Andrea. This is a crossover piece with Like Father, Like Daughter, The Last Ember, and Crossover Division, which is by our friend Will, which is also live on Kickstarter. And I'm actually lettering both Like Father, Like Daughter, and Crossover Division. So if you want to support me, you can support any of these three or all of these three, which would be great. But yeah, this is just fantastic. It is going to be colored. It's already been sent to the colorist, and he's working on it now. So it's just a really cool piece, and it's got a lot of energy, a lot of motion, and you got like Casey from Like Father, Like Daughter right up front, Ember right behind, and then Hank and Hector from Crossover Division in the background. So
yeah, it's a great piece. This is not done yet, but we wanted to showcase it. That way, if you do back our projects, you'll get that crossover. So go back up those projects so you could get the crossover, and you're going to get that. We're announcing it here first. Yeah,
absolutely. So we have not announced these on our campaign yet. So you are the first.
Tevia says he pledged $5. I'm gonna go check that out, and we'll put you in the ticker. Thank you so much. I did just get that, so I'm gonna put you in the ticker. And Brant will let me know if, who backed up his project as well, and I'll put it down on the bottom. Thank you.
I actually did just get a backer. I don't know if it's from this show or not, but I'm checking.
Thank you guys. We really, really appreciate it. We want you guys to get involved as well. And I'll show you Case my Kickstarter again. Thank you so much for backing it.
Justin actually backed to Last Ember as well.
Awesome. I will put Justin down that he gave the donation. Oh, I'm showing you guys my
your dashboard.
Sorry, I meant to show the project. Okay, so we have 2 more backers actually to get to our 200 backer goal, which gets you 11 free comics. It's Surge in issue 1, so hopefully we could get 2 more backers. Literally, if you back up this project for $1, you are getting 11 free comic books. That is crazy. And they're like big indie hits from Action Lab. Very generously gave us some, the creators gave us some books. So definitely go check that out. Like Father, Like Daughter, it's about a high school girl. Father left her, become a full-time superhero. Everyone in the world loves him except for her. And then she inherits his abilities. So you can check
That's a great pitch. I like that. It's a better pitch than mine.
I've been doing a lot of Comic Cons, so I try. So that's the pitch. It's the log line. It's the elevator pitch. But yeah, these are the covers right here, and as low as $1, you get those indie books. You get $5, you could get a digital book, and we did actually make funding today, which is
that's
crazy.
Awesome. Congrats.
And thank you. The next stretch goal is $6,000, where you get about 20 free indie comics. Do you guys want 20 free indie comics for $1? I think you want 20 free indie comics for $1. So we're getting close to that $6,000 goal. We have 21 days left, and that's what it is. And we'll definitely showcase this again before the show ends. And we really appreciate your support. If you support throughout the show, we will put you on the bottom. Oh, we actually still have some questions. I'm sorry. Will Last Ember and Like Father, Like Daughter ever do a crossover? You never know. We don't have any plans right now this second. I will say I actually do have a crossover book very soon with another book. So I probably wouldn't do it right back to back, but I would love to work with Brant. I mean, I already do work with Brant well, first of all, just doing Kickstarters together is working with each other, but Brant's also my letter for Like Father, Like Daughter. So we do work together on the project. But I would love to. I would love to work with Brant on a more creative level in the future, and hopefully we can make that happen.
I would love to do that as well. So maybe 2022. Who knows?
Exactly, 2022. I would definitely love to do that. So if more people ask for it, it'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Keep asking for it if you want it.
Exactly. Keep asking for it. But yeah, that's it for that. I'm going to change the banner, and then Mike's going to introduce us to our main topic, which Mike was. Well, what's interesting is that Brant kind of started it. He's like, "What happened here?" He's like, "What's going on?" Then Mike's like, "Wait, how about this section?" So now we're just like, "Let's break down this tournament." We thought it would be cool to do for the episode.
Should be interesting.
Yeah,
It should.
So before we get started, though, obviously there's going to be spoilers, especially if we're going to be talking about Ten of Swords and our little tournament analysis, okay? So, yes, you have been warned. There are spoilers. So Ten of Swords up until this point has been quite the interesting series, right? 22 chapters. We started off with our heroes and our villains trying to accumulate these swords. And these swords are more of a key, I guess, to them to get them in the tournament more than them actually battling with them, which is interesting.
Interesting's a word.
Yeah.
Disappointing's another.
Yeah. And then, then you wind up getting kind of like the lull in the series where it's just kind of like you learn more about history of the characters and then you get the dinner party, so it's the night before before everything's supposed to start, and you got people trying to poison each other, and you wind up getting them, trying to get the one up on the competition against each other, checking out like, how they hold the sword, how they fight, which are they left-handed or right-handed, and all that other stuff, and then you wind up getting to see the tarot cards drawn, who's going to fight who. And all this other stuff. But now we get to the point of the story where the action starts, right? This is what you've been waiting for this entire time when it's come to the Ten of Swords, the fighting, right? So you wanted to see them get these big-ass swords and start slicing and dicing each other. That's not what you get in this tournament. It's not so cut and dry. It's Saturnine just... I said this in our group. She's kind of like the Riddler, right? She's like, she basically sits there and she plays games with you. And so let's start with the very first point, right? And it happened in which issue was it? It was in
I think Excalibur, right?
Yeah, it was Excalibur issue 14. That's when we saw Betsy, right?
Right.
So she has her battle, and basically she starts fighting, and you get to see all her buddies in the background cheering and like, yeah, she's gonna win, and she winds up breaking apart.
Oh no, you're Mike.
Yeah, Mike's Mike. Yeah,
I heard it. I heard his mic starting to break apart. I'm like, oh no.
She strikes again.
That was a crazy scene, though. I would say I was, and when Mike comes back, we'll talk about it. But I was actually really shocked by Excalibur because I really liked it. I was like, oh man, this is actually a really good issue. You had the wedding, and you had the Captain Britain stuff, and right you actually get a sword fight. You're like, okay, cool, finally we get a sword fight, and then you find out the second part is he's getting married, and like, whoa, this is a crazy ride. And also Jubilee's on a dragon, which was kind of strange.
Well, that's Shogo.
I know, her son, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to back up real quick before I got cut out. So what happened to Betsy? Like, why did she break into pieces? What was that supposed to represent?
I don't know. Honestly, I know she just broke it to pieces.
Out of all the deaths and what happened, like the point accumulation, I don't understand what happened to her. Like, why she lost that way.
I think Saturnine got involved. I think she just like rigged it a little bit because she doesn't like her. Because she wants Brian to be Captain Britain again, and so it was like I liked most of this issue, but I didn't like the way I don't like Betsy's character in this book. I don't like the way she's written. But so it was like, but at the same time, I was still shocked by how much I enjoyed the issue as well, and what happened to her. It's like just she's shattered into these little pieces. You don't know what exactly happened to her. Is she dead? Is she just like sent somewhere? Is she what's going on? So it was crazy.
Now, didn't Jubilee die in the earlier issue?
Yeah, that's what I was confused about too, because she was part of the Captain Britain Corps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was totally confused on that end. And if she died in Otherworld, then she would have been a different being, right? Or like,
yeah,
there should have been a resurrection for. So I'm lost in that whole part too. And then I did not know that her baby was a dragon. When did that happen?
When we weren't reading.
All right. Yeah, Shogo's a dragon when he's in Otherworld, or we're one of the worlds. When he's over there, he becomes a dragon. So yeah.
How did I miss that? I don't even remember reading about that.
It was all in Excalibur in the first arc, I think. Yeah,
that's why I missed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Serenity answered her question. Maybe that wasn't Jubilee. That was Jubilee from another universe.
Oh, the Captain Britain one?
This is what happens when you don't read Excalibur. Honestly, Serenity, I'm happy. I'm not into it, but this issue was really good. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're getting another comic. Captain Britain Courts are alternate reality versions.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad someone's reading Excalibur to explain that to us.
Yeah, because none of us were before Ten of Swords.
No.
That totally makes sense. Okay, so at that point we get 1-0. Betsy loses. The enemy is winning, right? So then we go on to the whole marriage situation with Cypher and what's her name? Bay? Was it Bay? I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So
she's Cypher's Bay.
Yeah, and that's interesting because it was like Cypher could not understand what she was saying, but there's this link to each other. Like he's the only one that kind of understands her. And so right away they have this connection, and that character kind of realizes that. So that's why that marriage winds up being successful.
Yeah, two things I thought were interesting about this is one, he couldn't understand her because he can understand all languages. That's his ability. Right. So it's like, why can't he understand her? And then second, she almost reminded me of like an Adam Warlock, and just the way she looked and everything. So that was interesting. I don't know if there's anything there, if it was just a coincidence. But
did you read the white page about her?
No.
Okay,
I don't read any of those things.
But that explains why Cypher had a connection with her. So
okay.
What I said there, that's kind of like the reason. Like she does not speak. When she speaks, she's like a black bolt. Like she destroys things.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he can't understand the translation, because she does not speak. Yeah. But she realizes that he has some kind of connection to her. Like he kind of gets her. So that's why she and him got along so well with each other.
Yeah. Gotcha. So okay.
They got that connection there. So
they both get a point for that, right?
So they both get a point for the marriage. So then you wind up getting the 2-1 situation. So there's that whole situation there, right? And then we go on to the X of Swords, and then we get Wolverine issue 7, which is a really crazy issue. So the next brief little fight there is you wind up getting the big alligator dude doing an arm wrestling match against
Matt. I was so
messed up. I know.
I was so upset. She's the one you want to see a sword fight with.
Yes.
And like you get an arm wrestling match with her.
That was my point about the sword thing. It's like you got all these cool, awesome swords, and as a fantasy guy, it's like I want to see these sword fights, right? And then it's an arm wrestling match with magic versus a giant alligator. It's like, come on.
And he cheated.
It was funny, but cheated.
He cheated because it was like 3-2, boom, I win. So she wasn't ready for battle. She was too busy being cocky, and that she was going to win this fight. So. And just like that, it was over. So right away now at that point, you got 3-1, right? So you find them, they're in the hole, and then somehow you wind up getting Wolverine doing battle against the Sumner in this alternate things. And it says, what was the thing? I can't remember what was it said that like the person who
it was
fights to the
a
death.
battle to the death. Yeah, fight to the
Yeah,
death.
a battle to the death. And so obviously the first thing is whoever dies, like I'm gonna win, right? Like if I kill this person, I'm going to win. Wolverine kicks his ass, like he beats the Summoner, and it's a loss of a point. So Wolverine gets screwed because the Summoner is the one that died, and they get the point for it. So you're like, man, Wolverine is so angry, right?
Yeah.
And then at this point, now you're really, as the reader, you're kind of like, well, things like I said earlier are not so cut and dry at that point. So what do you guys think about that one there?
I mean,
favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it was messed up, right? But it's like she's you know, he tried to kill her, so it was a little payback. So you kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's like, man, the X-Men are just getting screwed here at this point.
That's right? The one thing I didn't like about this I guess week is that I feel like when you're watching the Super Bowl, right? You want it to be close because that's like the most interesting when you watch a game. And it's not close by any means. You're like, is this really interesting? Because I mean, they'll probably catch up maybe next week. They'll probably get some points, but it's just like, it's a little bit too far off now. That I'm like, now it feels impossible.
Yeah, it's like, they're getting beat down, then they're gonna come back, and then it's gonna be tied, and then it's gonna be the final battle. That's the way it seems like it's gonna go. Yeah,
they're definitely getting the short end of the stick because obviously a lot of it had to do with Wolverine because of what he did to her.
Yeah.
So, and then you wind up getting Storm and Wolverine drinking with each other. And that was on the card, and they got pretty much a free point for that one. But again, that was all set up. Wolverine kind of figured some things out. He's like, there's something more to this there, bub. And then what happens is he winds up getting transported, right? And he made a deal with that Solem character when he said, hey, I want this sword. He goes, well, you're going to pay me back later on. And this was the ultimate time. He's like, peace, I'm out. You're fighting this battle for me. And he wound up fighting the Summoner's mother. And so she's all pissed off. And they said the first one to cut off a limb is the actual winner for this one. So you're thinking, okay, Wolverine is going to, probably lose this one. He winds up winning because he cuts off the hand. But at the same time, you don't look at Wolverine as the winner here. He's just a replacement. Yeah. And so it automatically goes to the other team. So again, he gets screwed over. And I was like, man, oh man, like I thought that was pretty creative there in the writing on how they came up with that stuff though.
Yeah, I mean it was creative, but it was just infuriating.
Yeah, they get shafted. Yeah.
It was hard because you're expecting it's X of Swords or Ten of Swords, and you're expecting some swords. You don't get a lot of swords in this book.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and that's a little disappointing. But I'm having a fun time with it. Like this was actually probably one of the better weeks for the X-Men tie-ins. And again, I was like so shocked that I enjoyed Excalibur out of all of them. I'm like, whoa, that was really good. And I liked Marauders, and Wolverine for me was probably the weakest just because of the art style. But I enjoyed all of them. I like that we're on our toes. You really don't know what's going to happen next with this event.
It's funny because I really like the art in Wolverine because I thought it was different. It was very stylized and there was some really cool layouts and stuff like that in there. But
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I agree with you. It was a solid week and there was a lot of fun moments. The drinking scene with Wolverine and Storm was just hilarious because she was just like nonchalant. She was like, "We're just drinking our sorrow. Let's just enjoy it." It's like, it was good.
No, I mean, I think the thing is that if you were expecting just a plain out, I guess, sword fight, maybe they would think that it would be too predictable. So you gotta throw in some twists and turns in the mix as well.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of fitting that like Doug, the whole time he was like scared to death, trying to learn how to sword fight and all this stuff, and doesn't out of his realm, and then his whole battle is a marriage.
It
some clever stuff going on there, but at the same time I still would have liked to see more sword fighting.
I would too. I would like to see more battle, but there's still more battle to come.
True.
And we don't know who's going to win, who's going to lose. So who do you guys think is going to win this battle at the end of the day? Do you think it is going to be the X-Men?
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like there's much of an aftermath after this event. If you look at the solicits for all the rest of the books, like, well, Wolverine's doing someone with Weapon X. So I feel like if they lost, there would be more of an aftermath.
I mean, if they lose, wouldn't that affect the entire Marvel universe and not just the X-Men at that point? Because they're trying to take over. So yeah, they would have to win, or it would have to be some kind of draw or something.
I think they're going to win, but there's going to be a great loss at the same time.
Yeah.
Someone's going to die. There's someone unimportant. Well, I guess
Apocalypse is going to become evil again. Who knows?
Well, you did have someone. I mean, you had, what's his name? Rockslide? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That died over there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He wound up, dying, and it's like, oh, look, see how we forgot about him. So I feel like there's got to be somebody that's going to be meaningful that something happens to.
Well, Betsy. Now we're just going to have Quanon. That's all that's going to be left of Psylocke.
And that's
where is
okay.
Quanon?
Not in this. I don't even know if she's in Krakoa.
Oh, right. I did read this in one of the white pages. Jamie betted against his sister to lose.
Oh, of course he did.
And she did lose, but he didn't expect her to die. And so he goes, well, if she does come back to life, I'm going to buy her something nice, because he didn't want to lose his sister and be poor. So at least at the point, then he was going to be.
Honestly smart, right?
Yeah, it is smart, but it's kind of creepy. It makes sense being him, but you know what? What bothers me though, again, it's Betsy. If she is dead, she's going to come back different. So she's different again, and that's been like her whole thing, her entire life. She's like a different person. The same.
That's actually what the twist is. That nothing happens there when she comes back. Poor Betsy.
Yeah.
She was only captain Britain for a hot second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all Brian had to do was get busy with Saturnine. This would all be over.
Yeah.
Just can't go there. I respect him, but at the same time, it's like, dude, the whole fate of the world is in your hands. But no.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad trade-off. Just a one-night thing, it would have been great.
But then we wouldn't have X of Swords, so
that's true. Yeah,
we would have had one chapter.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be one issue in Excalibur, which none of us would have read, so we wouldn't even know what would have happened.
Wouldn't even know.
Passion of Saturnine.
That's the issue name.
Yeah, exactly. So far, what do you rate this series as of right now? What would you rate it? Like, if a letter grade?
A letter grade.
Yeah.
We're not doing numbers.
No.
I rate it a B minus.
D. Did you say D minus?
B
minus.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I was teetering between C plus and B minus myself. But yeah.
I was thinking about B.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really long, and there's not everything you expect, but there's stuff that entertain you. You're like, man, there's a wedding. Art was good here. There was a good character moment, so it's definitely not bad. It's definitely one of the better events that are this big, but at the same time, it's also not like, oh my god, I can't wait for X of Swords next week. It's like, oh cool, X of Swords is here.
It doesn't even feel that big though, because we're getting multiple issues every single week.
Yeah.
So it's just like by next week it's over.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like that we've gone so many issues, and it did feel quick for a very long event.
Yeah, exactly.
MTX pass or fail. I think we all went with pass.
Passed it, yeah.
Pass.
Yeah, definitely a pass. I've definitely read a lot worse X-Men books.
Yeah,
absolutely. Of course. In the most recent years, especially. Teviax, where's Laura? We're actually going to find out soon. And then, next 2 issues of X-Men, we're going to find out about the vault that they went into. So we're getting
Thank God, that story. Oh my gosh, that was one of the
I forgot all about it.
I did
That
too
was
until I
one
saw
of the
a
best
teaser of it.
stories. That was
It
one of the
was.
best stories, and
Yeah.
that's typical Hickman. Remember, 25 issues ago, this happened, and I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah.
But only because Laura is in it. That's the only reason I even remembered that happened. And again, I saw a teaser little image like, oh, they're going to come back. And like, cool, finally.
When you popped up that where's Laura, I was like, who's Laura? For a minute. And then I was like, oh, Laura.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our X of Swords discussion and you weren't disappointed by our title. So we talked about it for a while. So
that's definitely our analysis. We broke down who won what and who lost what and what we think is going to happen. Just like real sports right here.
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear a funny but tragic sword story, a real sword story of mine? My brother, he's like really into swords. He's got a bunch of swords, right? So he was mad at me one time, like this was years ago, but he was mad at me and he pulled out his sword and he was like, and then he dropped the sword and he like sliced his. I had to rush him to the hospital to get stitches.
Oh my God.
I was like, dude, that was all you were dumb. So he never did that again, but yeah. He was just like, he wasn't going to do anything, but he was just like, oh, he was just mad. He pulled his sword.
Does
he was
he
like
still love swords? Or
he does. He does love them. He still has them, but I don't think he like does that, swings them around at people. But
yeah, he learned his lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. He didn't have to do an arm wrestling fight. He actually did try to have a sword fight.
He tried to, yeah. With himself. Yeah.
You won the point for that one, Brent.
That's funny.
I don't know. I had to sit in an emergency room for a while, so I may have lost that point.
Maybe you're both sitting at 0.
Sometimes violence is not the answer.
And sometimes it is.
No.
No, it's not. No violence. No violence. Only in comics.
All right.
My brother is he's not a danger to anyone, by the way. It was an accident, a stupid thing the kid did.
Stupid things happen.
All right, let's go on, guys. Let's talk about under the radar books. Okay, so Kat, we're going to talk about one of the best books out there. It's not just under the radar, but what's the book? What's yours?
Red Mother, man. This one picks up once again. Oh my God, Red Mother. Her eye turns red. Her psychiatrist is evil. Everyone's on the team of Red Mother. Everyone's on the team of Red Mother. This really picks stuff up. I really enjoyed it. I love the art. I love this book, guys. It's so good.
You know what tipped me off, and maybe it was obvious to everyone else. It wasn't obvious to me. Mm-hmm. I noticed when the psychiatrist got there, I was like, wait a minute. Their names all end in colors.
Yeah, I didn't notice
hers
that.
Hers is green. His is, right?
Oh,
and I was like, that's when it was like before they even revealed that they were working together. I was like, oh my God.
I was I did not know her name was Green.
Yeah. And then his is like blacker, right? Black or something.
And his is black. I'm like, these people's names are all color. Like, is that on accident or is that on purpose? Like,
right. It's a puzzle for us to solve. Yeah,
exactly.
Do they even exist, honestly? Because that's also another question. Is just like, are any of these people real?
And when the
She's
doctor was
there somewhere,
when the doctor showed up, I was like, yeah, she's a part of this. She's
why else? Yeah, of course.
Why would you buy an international plane ticket to see your patient? I'm just saying. There's a thing called Zoom and online therapy. She's a very dedicated therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Also just part of the Red Mother. But man, things just like picked up so much here. The pacing is so good for this book.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. It's like, this book is such a quick read, but at the same time, it's like you get so much. That's
what Black
really well
Knight
written.
said. I like Red Mother, but it feels like it reads too quick. Like there's not enough pages. But I think that's because that's how good it is. You know, like it's like it has a good amount of dialogue. It's just really fast paced story.
You just whip through it. It's like you get totally pulled into it, and it just doesn't seem like it's as long as it is. Yeah.
The art is so good. Like you love looking at the book, and you love when the red takes place, it draws you in. The creature draws you in. Any of the puzzles that they showed, you like to see the intricacies of the puzzle as well. Like there's so much into that book. It's like I look over some of the panels like over and over. I'm like, am I missing anything? Like this is such an awesome book.
Yeah. And it's in this issue, it's almost like that creature was protecting her and then said her name, and then she's like freaking out about that. And it's like, what exactly is this creature? Because obviously she's like the Red Mother. She's got the Red Mother's eye, right? So that's kind of where this is going. So is this her whatever he is, her boyfriend or whatever? Is that what happened to him? Is that what he became?
Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many routes this could take, and excited to see how it unravels.
And you know what? It's so unpredictable. We're not going to figure it out until it's end.
No.
Yeah.
We just figured out their last names are colors. We're not so bright.
This whole book has been based off of colors, and
it should have been obvious.
It should have been. I honestly didn't even see it. So Brant, you caught it before I did.
Yeah.
All right. So it is a great book, man. All right, Brant, what's yours this week?
Mine is The Adept. It didn't come out this week. It was a Kickstarter book that I got recently from Immortal Studios, and it's actually co-written by a friend of ours, Charlie Stigney of Mine and Cats. He's actually the publisher of Scout Comics, but it did really well on Kickstarter. Raised like $35,000, and
1,000 backers.
Yeah. This is the first book in their universe that they are creating, and it's all based off of these popular martial arts novels from Asia, which I think is really cool. There's all kinds of videos about the founder of this company's father writing all these novels, and after he's passed, he's taking all these novels and kind of creating this comic universe. And this has already been optioned for animation, I think. But this was a really cool first issue, and it's all the kind of stuff that I like to read. It's got martial arts. It's a coming of age kind of story. It's about this girl that's kind of an unassuming hero. She's been dreaming about this kung fu master for years, and somehow learned kung fu through her dreams. And this all comes to a head in this issue because she finally meets this kung fu master as she gets pulled into this thing, having to protect this musician Sasa True from these people that are attacking her, and she doesn't know why or what's going on. So it's this mystical influence, these abilities that she shouldn't have, but she does, and it's just the kind of story that I really enjoy, and really great kickoff to the story. It's got you pulled in because something happens to the kung fu guy. Now she's involved in this whole thing where these people know that she's apparently this guy's apprentice. So now they're going to come after her, and all the while she's dealing with her sister, kind of being upset with her for leaving her twice, and she's dealing with this family drama as well as this mystery stuff going on. So it's a really cool first issue. If you guys have not checked this out on Kickstarter, go look them up. Immortal Studios, they're very active on social media, doing some really cool stuff. So they're definitely a company to watch.
Yeah, I got my issues. I haven't had a chance to read them. I'll have to read God Country first, and then I'll read The Adept. Yeah, I'm excited to read it. Even if Charlie wasn't involved, it same for Brant. Like it just seemed up my alley, and made it even better that Charlie was writing it. And excited to read it and dive in, and hope for even more success from Immortal Studios.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. All right, and then my under the radar is a book that wasn't in my top 5, but I feel like it deserves a chance, and that's Champions issue 2. I actually wasn't going to read this book or buy it, and I liked the cover of it, so I bought it, and I read it, and I hated the first half of the book. But
me too. Me too.
The second half of it, though, showed promise. Like it feels like once this outlaw stuff is over with, that it's going to go back into the direction of like what Champions once was, and that's what I'm hoping for. And so I'm hoping that people give this book a chance. Right now, we have a bunch of, our team members are working together, but they're not, obviously Riri is not getting along with them at this point in time. Viv was supposedly dead. She's not dead. She's just somewhere else right now. And we get to see that in this issue. There's definitely some good character moments in it, but the beginning of it was like all this protesting about how, heroes, like young heroes shouldn't be on the streets. And then there's some that are, and it was just characters that were in that other series that I had no idea who they were, like Swordmaster and all those other, characters. So I was like, I didn't like that part of it. But once it got to the Champions part, I liked it. I liked the second half of the book because honestly, about 5 pages in the Champions, I was that close to being like, I don't want to read this. This is horrible. That's how bad it was. But I said, nope, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to see what it is. And I'm happy I finished it so I can kind of continue it. I feel like this book doesn't get a chance or hasn't gotten a chance because A, that event that's been all over the place, and B, because of COVID and everything's been gotten delayed. So I just wanted to let people know that this book is out there, give it a chance, see what it's like in a few issues from now.
I might just do that because I really didn't like this issue because of that beginning. I didn't like that there was all these characters we didn't know, and it spent like half of the issue doing it. I like the Riri stuff, but I don't like the art, so that really takes me out of it. I've never really been a big fan of this art style. It's the same artist who does We Can Never Go Home. No, that's not it. What's the one? What's the Boom book from Allowing?
We only find them when they're dead.
Yeah, we only find them when they're dead. I knew it was a long title. Same artist who does that. I'm not a huge fan of it. I might pick it up if you guys say to pick it up after Outlawed, but I think I'm gonna drop this one. I couldn't get into this issue.
It's funny because I absolutely love the art in this book. It's like the one I flipped it open. And I'm like, oh man, this is just gorgeous. That's what pulled me in, kept me interested through the protesting stuff, which was, it is what it was. But I liked the stuff in the re-education center. I thought that was interesting, and the way that they brought in some old New Warriors into the mix. Time Slip was in there and stuff like that. And it was, it wasn't the best part of the issue. Obviously the stuff where the Champions actually came into it and came to Riri and all that stuff was where it really picked up. But I enjoyed it. It didn't quite make my top 5. It's just outside. But right. Like Mike, I really enjoyed the issue. And I think there's a lot of potential with it as well. So.
Yeah, that's good. And Al Ewing's good, and we love him on Immortal Hulk, of course. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, that makes sense. That's why he's doing the art. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together because they're working on that Boom book, and they're also working on this together.
I didn't mind the artwork myself, though. I liked the art. I thought it was okay. I thought it was better in certain places. I didn't think it was perfect all the way through, but I did overall like the artwork. I thought it was okay. Yeah. I love the way Riri was drawn. I really did like the way she was drawn. So I think the book has potential. So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see. I could be issue 3, could suck, and I'll be like, I'm not reading it anymore. So we'll see what happens. All right. So let's move on, guys. We got quite a few books that came out. We got new number 1s that came out. The other big book that came out was a Punchline special. Issue 1. Let me just tell you that I was disappointed with this book.
I was too. That exposition.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Like
Brad,
I loved it.
I loved it.
It kind of had this like almost 13 Reasons Why, like you're listening to the tapes type of thing, and you kind of get fallen into the dark side. You get infatuated with this person. I didn't dislike the issue. I just thought it was too drawn out, right? And it's just, I kind of felt funny that we have, who is it, Harper Rose, all of a sudden just shows up kind of out of nowhere. and Holland is in this, and I found it a little odd to me because I haven't seen these characters in so long. So I was just like, why are they in here for some reason? I didn't get that part of it all. But
yeah, the thing that was also frustrating for this issue is that it didn't end. So they're like, it's like a teaser for more Batman stories. They're just like, well, if you want to find out more, read in 2021. I'm like, but I bought this issue for like a one shot for a beginning, middle, and end, and there's no end in this story. And honestly, like, I liked the beginning of this book. I enjoyed learning what happened to Punchline after Joker War. I kind of enjoyed seeing Harper Row again. I liked her dynamic with her brother. But right when those podcasts started, I'm like, dropped so low. It was just, I felt like I was reading a novel. And I'm like, they did not use the visual medium in the way I thought should have been used for this issue.
I obviously had a different take on this altogether. First of all, I thought the art was gorgeous. I love.
I know you're a fan of Marco's. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the art too.
Art's solid.
I kind of liked that there was this underground podcast that showed the other side of her, and that Harper's brother got hooked on it and kind of got pulled into that. I thought that was a really interesting direction to pull those characters, and just an interesting way to tell her story and the two sides of it, and just that she really is twisted and that she's got the whole world fooled. I love that dynamic, and that that podcast has been taken off the internet, so nobody knows this. So it's being, just this whole underground movement. And I love the fact that she got the upper hand on Joker, and it's like, she playing the victim, but actually she was so good that she got the jump on him, and that's what swayed him to work with her. So it made her more powerful than she seemed in the first place, even, which was already pretty powerful. So I was totally taken with it. I love this issue. So
I just found it so hard to believe that she was able to get this whole rally for her. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't, because social media, she had a very popular podcast and she got a rabid following based on that.
I do think it's interesting, like, how they look at celebrity. I think that's kind of cool. And how you could create your own persona, even if it's not
or
the real
even
persona.
your own cult, basically.
Yeah, your own cult for sure as well. That was interesting.
And then what did you think about Lee thinking that she could obviously stand trial? I mean, it's kind of weird because she is twisted. Yeah. Like, she's very smart, obviously we can see that, but she is twisted in her own mind as well.
I honestly think she didn't really think she was fit for it, but she didn't want her to go to Arkham, or wherever. It's Arkham, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting my universes confused. I almost said Ravencroft. So I think she just didn't want her to do that. She actually wanted her to, have consequences. So she was like fudged her report there. That's the kind of vibe I got from it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is going to continue somewhere down the line, and
somewhere where you have to buy another $9 book probably.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Does this make you like the character more, or do you think Punchline is going to fade out, or do you think she's going to be the next Harley?
See, it's so difficult because I do not hate Punchline. I do like her as a character, but I also don't love her. I don't think she is a Harley. And honestly, I like new Harley more than I like old Harley. I like this Harley, like what we've been seeing in Batman, like what we've seen in the Harley TV show. I like the Harley who's with Poison Ivy, the Harley who's the anti-hero, the Harley that's not just always about the joke. So I think Punchline needs time to grow, and I think she has a lot of potential as a character. There's so many cool foundational stuff they've done with her. But I can't say I look forward to be like, oh my God, Punchline. I can't wait to read more Punchline. It's like, cool, Punchline's here. She's an interesting character.
Yeah, I think she has stayability, but it's a totally different way. I would never want to see her switch the other side. I would want her to stay sadistic and, and have the wool pulled over everybody's eyes. I think that's an interesting way to approach her character.
People keep underestimating her, which is cool.
Yeah. And it's completely different from the way Harley was. And she's not just a Joker groupie. She's actually, I think she sees herself as his equal, which I think is a really interesting way to spin it. So,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
I also think, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the Hellstrom series.
No.
Yeah, I'm actually watching. I'm like 7 episodes in or something. It's actually pretty good. But the actress that plays his sister, I think she would make a good Punchline. So if anybody's seen that, look at her. She looks like her. She really does, and it's kind of weird.
I have to look at who the actress is.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Brant. I think she needs to stay a villain. She can't become anti-hero or anything like that. I think, and then I agree with Kat. Like, I kind of like how Harley is now, the way she is in Batman, the way she is in Suicide Squad, even the way she's in Batman White Knight. Like, I like that Harley. I don't like the Harley that's all comical. That's
Deadpool.
Exactly.
Deadpool.
Exactly.
Yeah. That Harley I can't stand. That's like completely opposite from the way that she was. So I can understand people that are wanting a more meaner character like Harley to be, with Joker or whatever it is, but you're not going to exactly get that. You're just getting another person, another villain towards Batman himself. So I like her.
Oh, go on, Mike.
I said I like her. We'll see where she goes from here.
He says Punchline's going to be the Deadpool for DC. I don't know personality-wise, but maybe sales-wise. I hope they don't spin off so many series of her. Like, I wouldn't mind. I don't even know if I want to see an ongoing with her. I would only want to see a mini-series with Punchline.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think I'd want to see an ongoing, and I'd rather she be used sparingly. Just kind of like the Joker is pop in when you need a really big baddie.
I say build her and Batman first because I do want to learn more about her. But once that's built, I agree. Just I don't want her all the time.
I would love her to become the Joker for the rest of the Bat family. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That'd
be interesting.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about the next book. We got Taskmaster.
I saw the jokes in the panels this week. I was like, they actually looked kind of funny.
Issue 1. Yeah, this book surprised me. I didn't think that this one was going to be as lighthearted and funny as it was.
Yeah, right.
I
didn't think I would like it, honestly. I really didn't. I was kind of scared going into it. I was like, I
liked it. I thought it was cool. Nick Fury recruits him to do this mission about Maria Hill and what she was up to. Was that what it was? And
she was murdered supposedly.
Yeah,
and he's being framed for it. Yeah,
and the jokes in there was funny. That was in the panel as well. Like, Taskmaster falls asleep in the car and he's got like a sleep apnea, and then he's like, shut up, man, I'll make fun of you because your eye. It's just so funny. Like, the banter between these two back and forth were really well done. Artwork was pretty good in it, and it leads for an interesting. It's like a mystery. It's like it's a case that needs to be solved, and Taskmaster's on on it as well, and Black Widow is on his tail. She's chasing him in a motorcycle, and he's running away in a golf cart. Yeah. In a celebrity trip to a golf tournament. It was really a lot of fun. Definitely something off the wall. Was not expecting, and I'm hoping it will continue to be good.
Yeah, If you're looking for something different, that's not what you expect, and it's fun. Pick up Taskmaster, but it was more enjoyable than it had any right to be. I think. just playing the golf tournament with Bullseye of all people. So Bullseye and Taskmaster, who can, if anybody doesn't know who Taskmaster is, he can mimic anything he sees. So he can learn how to play golf by watching golf on TV or whatever. So it was interesting, and I thought this little excursion with Nick Fury and trying to save his life from Black Widow was kind of hilarious. So it was enjoyable.
Yeah, and fun. It ties into Hammer. So back in the Dark Reign days.
Yeah. This is so weird. I never thought we'd hear Hammer again, but there it is.
Exactly. So I mean, if it's only like 5 issues or something like that. It's only a mini series. So if you have the extra money and you're looking for something different, check it out.
Yeah.
This was supposed to come out in March.
Oh, right. A long time ago.
That's when Black Widow came out, and they delayed
the movie.
Yeah.
I love the realization too. Like he's just kind of nonchalant about it, like somebody's chasing me or whatever, and then he finds out it's her, and he's like, "Oh God, Nick, I'm gonna die, man. You gotta protect me." It was so funny.
Yeah, it was good. All right, so with that being said, now we're going to talk about our number 5. So, Kat, what was your number 5?
Mine was Power Rangers issue 1. I enjoyed this issue. I actually enjoyed it more in Mighty Morphin. There were some good character moments, especially with the new Red Ranger, where he's like, well, I'm not the leader. What does that mean? If I'm not the leader, I'm still the Red Ranger. And he has a cool conversation with Jason. But the cliffhanger is that the Omega Rangers are working with Lord Draken. And we need to know why. Like, why are they turning towards the villain side? So I enjoyed it. I will say it's not new reader friendly. I think that's kind of the biggest complaint I've had with these is that why relaunch if they're not going to be new reader friendly. I know Mike is not going to be able to read Power Rangers. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Glad
no
you
one
enjoyed
reads
it.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it though. All right, so Brent.
Amazing Spider-Man. Kind of by default.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, kind of by default because I rank my books and then I sort them all and to see where things lay, and it just kind of fell in that spot.
I had a tough time.
Yeah,
ranking this book. I've been going back and forth.
Are we talking about LR or issue 52?
If the 52, LR was a little lower for me.
Mine too. The 52 was a little higher, but LR was on the bottom. Okay.
I had a tough time ranking this book because, just because of what happened at the end, obviously it's not believable. Like, it's not going to happen, and it's like it's done for a shock value. But at the same time, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I liked how Kindred actually broke Peter down mentally.
Yeah, and that's kind of why it landed where it did for me. It was that whole part of the book where he was just kind of, like you said, breaking him down piece by piece, and to the point where he finally just said, I don't care anymore. Just kill me, save them. It got to that point. So it was that lead up throughout the entire issue that was the most interesting to me. The other stuff with the mutated spider people was like, it was there. It wasn't the best part of the issue, but it was like when they came out of it and they didn't remember that they were mutated and they were like freaked out by everybody, being freaked out by them. And it's like that was like whatever.
It's kind of like what happened to us? I don't know what we're doing. Like
I don't know what you're doing either because you shouldn't have been here. I could care less about them. They brought the issue down. I agree. I think the Kindred stuff was good. This was a better issue. It was like my number 8, but it was still like a 3-star book. Better than LR. Honestly, I hardly remember what happened in LR. I think Mary Jane was helping. Oh, there was like a lot happening. Like Black Cat was teaming up with Doctor Strange. Yeah. Norman Osborn was trying to team up with Mary Jane, which was probably my favorite part of the issue. The artwork was kind of weak for it. I think there was 2 artists on that book. There's a lot going on in there.
They wound up going to the astral plane, and then
oh my god, too much.
At the end, there was this female person standing on the ledge or whatnot. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
What do you know who that was?
I don't,
I
but
thought it was Mary Jane.
that's what I thought too.
That's what I thought too. But then I
From
was
Spider Island.
Oh, yeah, the Spider Island Mary Jane. Okay.
I don't know why she's there, but that's
I
what
don't
thought.
either, but it's like, it was all over the place, that book. Yeah.
There's literally like 20 plot threads in one issue.
But yeah, I mean, this issue was better. I liked it. Again, it felt like he was fighting for something.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like finally, like the roof was raised for him to fight. Like we finally got to that point, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like he met his match. He doesn't know what to do. He's getting all his death shoved in his face, and he's just overwhelmed. And that's what made it so much fun in that aspect of it, you know?
Yeah. All the digging up all the corpses and all that stuff, you know, it was like just totally messing with Peter's mind.
Right.
Well, we knew
like
that was
nobody
happening
else
anyways from the last issue. So it's just like, it kind of would have been nice if they saved it for this one.
Yeah, that's true. But it did bring into question whether this actually was Harry or not for me, these 2 issues.
I still think it's Harry from another universe, the astral plane, maybe.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
What I heard, though, I think people, I've been hearing this around, that it's another version of Peter.
I think it's definitely been confirmed it's Harry at this point, so I don't think
it's been Riley again. That's
I think Nick Spencer had an interview with CBR, and he like said out loud it was Harry.
Yeah, but I mean, it could have been misdirection too. It seemed, the way, or it could just been poor phrasing in LR, the way Norman was like pushing. It's got to be Harry. It's got to be. Made me think, oh, maybe it's not Harry, just for that reason.
Yeah, true. Or people just really don't want it to be Harry, like all of us.
Yeah, maybe.
You want to talk about a story that's dragged on?
Oh, for sure.
This is it. Like you got 51 and 51 LR, then 52 LR. And it's just like,
why are we getting these LR issues? Why not just make it the next issue? Yeah, exactly.
So stupid. I think the reason, because I figured it out, I was doing my reviews this week, is because Spider-Man's not in those issues. But I'm like, who cares? Because it's all about the supporting characters in LR. Or
it's a plot to get it up to the next numbering so they can renumber again.
That's the real reason, probably. There is definitely a reason they're doing these LRs, and it's not because they actually need them.
No.
No, yeah. No, we'll see what happens. All right. So my number 5 was actually, was it 7 Secrets, right? 7 Secrets issue.
Oh, nice. That was 4. A little lower for you.
Issue 4, yeah. Well, I really liked a couple books, and oh no, wait, Taskmaster. No, hold on. I don't know how to count.
7 Secrets might have not even made the list.
7 Secrets is 5. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So I liked the issue. I thought that issue was cool because we find out who the main antagonist is and who he's related to. And there was a setup amongst the setup. It's like, who's the sharper group, by the time you want to get into the end of it all. And he's saying, the bad guy is saying that these cases are a waste of time. You waste your life guarding these things, and he doesn't believe in the whole thing.
I thought that was really interesting, though.
Yeah.
That he wasn't he didn't feel like the villain to me, because he kind of said it like, you're in a cult. You grew up in a cult.
Exactly.
This is not a good thing. And I'm like, wait, is he actually the villain? Like, he's the villain who's trying to kill people, but he actually has a point.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Magneto type hero or type villain. I love those kind of villains. So it's like, it makes you question everything. It's like, wait a minute, which side is right now?
Now it makes you want to believe, like, are these guys good, or are these guys good, or
exactly
which you believe?
Is nobody good?
Yeah.
Probably the latter. I think nobody is good. But also what I really liked about this, well, first of all, I thought it was a really well-balanced issue. There was good comedy, good emotion, good action. But I like the reveal that the head of that person, the head of the place was the mom. And I liked how they revealed it. I was like, oh, that was really cool. I like this book a lot. Also, it's another book that's paced pretty well. I feel like a lot has happened in 4 issues.
I agree. This issue was a quick read for me, too. Again, it's a book that I really enjoy, so it probably seemed that way. But I was just like, I didn't see that coming. I did not see him being the son there. And he's just like, yeah, Mom. And he just like drops it ever so like lightly. It was just, Mom. And you're like, whoa, wait a second here. You know? Because when she sits there and puts up her hand in the what was it? The spear goes through her hand.
Yeah,
like,
saving him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
That just happened. So great book, man. I mean, you want to talk about a book I feel that's under the radar. I think this is it too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Although at least it's selling really well. So I think like in conversation, not a lot of people are talking about it, but it seems like at least it's doing well. Like people are buying it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that was 7 Secrets. So let's talk about we talked about X-Men. We talked about 7 Secrets. So let's just go on to number 4 pick. So let's go back to Brent for your number 4.
Mine is Iron Man number 3. I really enjoyed this issue.
I love all our panels had Iron Man this week.
Yeah. I love Hellcat being in this book. I think it just adds this other dimension to Tony, and she calls him. Yeah. Oh, nice. She calls him on his crap, which I love, and it's that whole scene where he talks about her not being as famous as him, and she's just like, really, Tony, really, you're gonna go there? And it's like, oh, okay.
The whole plane scene in general, like even her talking about her death and him saying, well, I died. He's like, well, I died because I wanted to, like that. And like just showing how I think people forget how dark of a past Patsy has, and why her name is Hellcat. And I thought that whole, like, even just like the subtleness of that scene too, is just talking about going to coach and talking about reclining your chair, things we could all relate to. And it was just such a perfect scene. I loved it.
Yeah, and even before that, the whole set, the inner monologue that Tony was going through of how people perceive him and he perceives himself and all that stuff. I thought that was really, really intelligently conveyed, and it was it felt like somebody of his stature kind of going through that whole motion. Like, so it was like totally in his head, which I really appreciated the writing there. I don't care about the villain,
me either.
I mean, I care about Korvac because that's, but the rest of the villains, it's like, okay, who are these? Why are we getting these jokers? But at the same time, it's kind of cool that Korvac took these nobodies and basically leveled them up. So that was kind of interesting, and finding out that was Korvac. And it's like, okay, this is a blast from the past, bringing that in. And we knew he was coming, but I didn't know exactly how or when or where. So, that was interesting. But it was, but the stuff with Patsy and Tony was the gold part of this issue. Yeah.
Do you think she's dead?
I hope not.
I think they're going to die. They referenced her going to hell for a reason, I'd say. I think we're going to see a darker path. That I think she's going to kind of go back there. That's my guess.
There's a whole reason why she's in this book to begin with, because she just all of a sudden showed up and he's been hanging around her. You know what I'm saying? So,
which has made the book better, as Brant said. Like I think this book is as good as it is because of the art and Patsy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think she's kind of that replacement for Pepper, right? You know what I'm saying? It's another female.
It's another redhead for him too.
Yeah,
and also like somewhat similar personalities because Patsy doesn't
puts him in his place.
Yeah, puts him in his place. She doesn't shut her mouth. She's just like, I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yeah, and it seemed. I mean, so did Mary Jane to a degree. So did Wasp to a degree. It's kind of it's the same kind of dynamic, but done in a little different way because she's very confrontational. Hellcat is, which I appreciate. He needs
that. She actually looks for it. She looks for the confrontation.
Yeah.
Would you agree that this is the best issue out of the 3 so far?
Yeah, I've actually enjoyed all of them. So it's
I have too.
Yeah, I've enjoyed all of them for different reasons. So maybe
I have too. I felt though that for me this was the the best
Yeah.
one for me. There was a lot of strong moments in here from him,
Nice.
kind of thinking of like, when he's going to try to help people and go to the kids and they're like, oh, you got to make an appointment. Now you just messed up all the kids' day. And they, and he's trying to be good and he's trying to do the right thing. And it's just like people are kind of shitting on him, and that was kind of insane there. And the same thing with the Patsy Walker moment. And then at the end of what happens to her, and those villains are all like, a lot of them are generic, but I like seeing them together. They kind of gave you the nostalgia feel, and that's what this writer promised to deliver. The roots of Iron Man and all those characters are classic characters of classic villains of the character. So far, in my opinion, he's delivering on this series.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. And I also, just for tagging for the panels, I keep forgetting this is actually the showrunner for the new Paper Girls TV show. So I'm like, this is the showrunner for the new Paper Girls TV show, the new Paper Girls TV show is going to be really good.
Yeah,
because
that's cool.
Been doing a good job.
Yeah. Awesome.
So now Kim says, wow, you guys have sold me on Iron Man. So
that's really cool.
We love hearing that. Yeah.
So hopefully you do like it. Hopefully you don't pick it up and be like, wow, what are these guys talking about?
It happens.
I think it's going to be tough, though. I feel like, especially when it comes down to the artwork, it's hard to say that's not gorgeous artwork.
Yeah.
I know everything's subjective, though, so maybe it's not for everybody, but it's a hard one. It's really good.
Slight interjection here. I'm at 99 backers now, by the way.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah,
was
so
there one
from
here?
I am checking who the last one was. No, these are past backers of mine, but
get more backers. We're one more away to 100.
Be the 100th backer, somebody. Yeah.
And I'm 2 away from 200. So
sweet. Yeah.
I just posted the panels instead of your Kickstarter. So
go read the panels and then go back on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Here you go. It's been a busy week, guys.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so we're going to move on to Kat. You're going to talk about your number 4.
My number 4 is Excalibur, so we already talked about it.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Sounds good. We're going to just jump on to, we already talked about
it.
Spider-Man stuff. Yeah, so let's jump into the number 3 spot. So my number 3 was actually X of Swords Excalibur, issue 14. So we definitely talked about that. Kat, what was your number 3?
Mine was Iron Man. We already talked about it.
And Brent?
Mine was 7 Secrets. We already talked about
it. We're in this mode. We're in speed mode right now.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to number 2. My number 2 was a book we talked about. That was the Wolverine issue 7. So that was my number 2. And Kat?
Red Mother, issue 10.
All right. And Brent?
Mine was actually Punchline. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Pretty impressive. All right. So we're going to talk about this book, which I didn't expect this to be on the list, but we all read it. And it's Wonder Woman issue 766.
It's like the only other DC book we're reading besides Batman stuff. So
I really didn't feel that, I don't know, this book had very much going for it. Right?
Either.
I mean, it's Maxwell Lord. He's using Wonder Woman to get to where he needs to get to. He gets to it, and now he's acting bad again.
Yeah, the one positive thing I'll say about that is they didn't drag that out. It's like we knew he was going to turn on her, and I was kind of worried that it was going to take a long time. But now that's done, so we can move on from this because this arc with Max Lord after the what was her name? His daughter's name?
Liar. I don't know her real name. But.
Yeah, Liars. That's what I was talking about. But after that, it just this little arc has not been as good for me. So
I also don't really like the art. I'm gonna give because we just talked about how little DC books are out here, so I don't want to drop things so quickly. And I do like Mariko Tamaki. But I think after this arc, if I don't like the next issue of the next arc, I'm sadly got to drop Wonder Woman. I really
I can
love
understand
this
that.
issue.
Yeah.
But is this series going on though, or is it just taking place during Endless Winter though?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly,
I don't think this is I think it's going to continue, but it's going to continue as Endless Winter. I think
and I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
I'll give it a shot there. I don't know. I'm also not even dedicated to Endless Winter, so I could see that being the point where I drop the book and never pick it up again. So who knows?
Yeah.
Because every
true.
DC title that's left represents an issue, I think, of that Endless Winter. So you got like Justice League, Superman has a one shot with it. Teen Titans also has a chapter in it. Like, so it's just like.
I am going to read the Teen Titans for that. That was something I was interested in, if anything.
767. There is one more issue, this Max Lord thing. Final battle between Max Lord and Wonder Woman is next issue.
I guess I'll pick it up.
So it might be 768 might be the next one.
Yeah.
But will it continue after Endless Winter? That's my question. If it's going to be the same. Especially now we have this Wonder Girl series coming out. Are those going to be connected?
Oh, actually 768's Deathstroke, so...
Okay, well, at least it's something different. I guess it's a one shot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's Wonder Woman for you. Not much happens in there, so I probably wouldn't recommend picking that up, but it was good for a little while. Now it's
that first arc
kind of falling out, right?
That's the trouble with Wonder Woman. It's always good for the first arc, and then it just kind of... That's the way it's been for me for years now. Yeah.
I only like the Greg Rucka DC Rebirth, and that's about it.
All right. Well, let's go into that all-important number one book. So my number one was Red Mother.
Nice.
Mine too.
Ooh, mine was Seven Secrets, but Red Mother was number 2, so it was close.
Nice.
Almost had the same. So pretty cool stuff there. All right. So that made it very quick. We were like number 4 about 2 minutes ago, and we completed our top 5 and everything else. So if we go to the chopping block now,
just me chopping.
Kat talked about it earlier. She wants to chop Champions and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we'll see how those turn out. I don't think I'm going to give issue 3 for Champions, but I do think after Outlawed, especially if there's an artist change, I'll probably pick it up then. And then for Wonder Woman, we'll see how this Endless Winter stuff goes. I'll give it one more issue. Read Endless Winter. We'll see. We actually have a good question for MT Kim. What would you want to see in Wonder Woman to revitalize interest in that comic? Honestly, I have no freaking clue at this point. I think I just want to see... I would like to see the Wonder Woman family. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like the Wonder Girls, especially now that there's a new one.
I thought the way they started this run was really interesting. It was perfect for me too. And then they ran through that so quick and just
maybe because of Endless Winter though. Maybe because of Endless Winter.
Maybe. But
I agree. I liked it how she was living in an apartment and she was being, she had it like I liked it how she had a cool next door neighbor and then she wound up becoming evil, and then it made it worse because it's like, oh, she's Maxwell Lord's daughter, and then it's like it's even more worse because now we're just dealing with Maxwell Lord again. It's like it's very repetitive.
Yeah, and it made Liar Liar seem like a plot device just to get Max Lord back in the picture, which I did not appreciate at all. But
I agree.
All right, so there's that. Let's talk about the most anticipated, so I'll hand it over to Brant.
Yeah, so got some books coming out tomorrow, obviously. But let's see. Where do we want to start? We already talked about the Ten of Swords stuff, so let's go in that. We got 3 more issues of that. X-Force, Hellions, and Cable are the next installments of that. So we're all invested in this story at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so obviously we're probably going to get battles. Cable's going to have his battle, surely, in his book. Be interested to see exactly how that goes, because that his whole thing with this sword was like such a big point of his story, and then he's probably not even going to use it. So
Probably
watch
not.
you be wrong. Watch you be. He's the one that
he'll be the one. Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset.
I'm curious to see what's going on with Apocalypse. Keeps giving him these sideways glances, like, "Yeah, you're you're annoying me, you little punk kid." That's what it seems like. It's like he's like kind of tiptoeing around Apocalypse. So I wonder if there's going to be any of that. You know, what that's leading to. Yeah, exactly. It's like, of all the summers, you're the worst.
There's a lot of summers.
Yeah. So that's Ten of Swords. Kat's looking forward to Black Magic. Is it the end of an arc?
Yeah, so it's the end of the arc for a long time. As you might know about Black Magic, is that they like do an arc, at least for this time. They finished the whole arc and they released it. And they're like, we're taking a break for 5 years. And then they're going to come back. And they even said, like, we have a lot of projects. Maybe it says it in the letter page. Sorry, that's not really a spoiler. But yeah, they're not coming back anytime soon. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, gotcha. We talked a little bit earlier about King in Black. So we got Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black #1.
That's the first King in Black title to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's more like it obviously it's taking place in the past because it's Symbiote Spider-Man. So obviously we're going to see Null, but we'll see him, a few years earlier. Yeah, and whatnot. So that might be kind of cool. I'm curious to see what's going on in there. And I think Black Knight is going to make his appearance in this series as well. Okay. It looks like Kang is going to be in here because you see a picture of him in the main cover. So I don't know what to expect, but these books have been a lot of fun. So
yeah, and for anybody that really wants to delve into the classic stuff, there's like a bunch of True Believer King in Black books coming out this week. So some classic tales there that might give you some insight. For me, Commanders in Crisis #2. I know Kat you weren't too keen on it. I wasn't a fan. I like the twist that they're all presidents from different realities. I thought that was a really cool twist, and it's got me hooked for the next issue at least. So looking forward to that. We're all enjoying Dead Day.
Oh yeah, and this is the last issue.
This is the last issue. Yeah.
I'm sad.
I didn't think it was going to end already.
I didn't either.
I know. I had a feeling it was going to end soon because we've seen a couple of Ryan Parrott miniseries, and they're all miniseries. But I'm sad as well.
Yeah, but it'll be fun to see how he wraps it up. So
yeah.
We got Widowmaker's Red Guardian and Yelena Belova.
I wasn't going to originally get this, but I don't have a huge haul. And I was like, she's going to come up in the movie. I don't really know much about the character. I'm like, why not? I'll try it out. So not excited, trying it out.
Didn't she take over as Black Widow like in the 80s or 90s for a time?
I think so. I think she was a Black Widow.
Yeah, when Natasha was dead or whatever at some point. I don't remember exactly. I kind of remember there being a blonde Black Widow at some point, but
she's the one that's in she showed up in the Black Widow series we just read, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious to learn more about her, and it's hard because the Black Widow has been so good. It doesn't mean every Black Widow series is going to be good. I feel like Kelly Thompson's is the exception to the rule. It doesn't mean I can't try out this first issue. Again, it wasn't a huge haul this week, so I'm like, I'll try out another issue one.
Gotcha. All right, let's see. We'll go to Stillwater #3. We've been enjoying that one as well. Mm-hmm. Nice mystery.
There's the mother is not doing well.
That's our punishment. Have to see where that goes, and how he acclimates to his newly found mother being buried alive. Interesting story. This. We got Fantastic Four #26. Am I the only one that marked that?
I think I marked it too. I think for me, did? I was the only one who marked it.
Or maybe you were the only one that marked it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been enjoying Fantastic Four. I like it, and that's about it I have to say about it.
Okay. So moving on to the final book, I think, and I know we all enjoy this one. It's Spider-Woman #6, and it's this new direction where she goes off to space with Carol. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Before we talk about that, I do want to mention this comment. Mario says, "Hey guys, a longtime fan and supporter. Been here since the beginning. Wow, thank you for sticking around.
Wow.
You guys
Man,
rock.
that's
Keep
awesome.
doing. Yeah, that's a long time. You
Yeah.
you guys rock. Keep doing an amazing job every week. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Love
you,
that.
Mario. Appreciate that so much.
Yeah,
That means the world to us. Yeah.
really does. The support for that long and supporting in general. But
Yeah.
yeah, going back to Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel, and Jessica. That's gonna be
Yes.
really fun. I love this book.
Yeah.
Definitely a
So
surprise
good.
book. This will be 2 volumes in a row that Spider-Woman has been really good, and it keeps progressing the character, which I like.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. I love their friendship too, so it's going to be a fun ride.
Me too.
And that's it.
That's all.
All right.
All right.
That's
all
cool.
of
So, real quick, before we close out the show, we're gonna announce what's coming up and going on and all that great stuff, and then Brant and Kat will talk about their Kickstarters real quick again, and then we'll close out the show. I'll start with me. I will have my comic book haul tomorrow, guys. So if you want to tune into that, you're more than welcome to. You can check out my new series that I've started every Sundays as well. It's called The Final Cutoff. Cover of the week as well on Mondays and on Tuesdays, which was posted today, is the top 10 most anticipated comics for next week. Next week is Thanksgiving, and actually for the show, I wanted to let you guys know too. I'm not going to be here next week, so
Ooh.
I don't know if you want to do a show or not, but I'm not going to be here next week, so.
It'll be up to Brant. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
I'm cool with skipping, but I know we have our Kickstarters, so I don't know, Brant. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm cool with either.
Yeah, I'm cool with either as well, I think. So,
I'll say maybe me and Brant will try to do a quick show next week, just because I think we want to like promote our Kickstarters, but that's
well, of course.
Do you want to you game for that or?
Yeah, I should be okay for that. Yeah.
All right, we'll try doing a quick show for you guys. There's not a lot of comics next week, at least from what I saw. So, like I said, we'll probably make it a quicker show, but we'll try to do it. If anything changes between me and Brant, we'll post a video saying we won't have a show, but hopefully we will have a show next week. But we'll miss Mike.
Yeah,
for sure.
So definitely, I won't be here. I got some family coming into town from Detroit and whatnot. So I'm going to be taking the week off. Literally, I'm taking a week off from. I could be not doing that many videos next week. I have no tennis next week. So I
take the break to enjoy.
Yeah. I might still pre-record the videos, so they'll be posting. I don't know yet. Just depends what kind of time I have.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. I just wanted to give the guys that are watching, the channel right now, kind of an update. So hopefully, you guys are not wondering where I'm at. But those videos still might show up. You never know. But I just wanted to let you know for sure I won't be on that show. So that's what I got going on, guys. Take it away. See what else you got going on.
Yeah. Since Brant started last time, I'll go first. We got our Kickstarter is going on right now. I will be keeping the ticker tape every week. So even if you donate during the week, which we would love as well, we will have the ticker tape of who donated as low as $1. We really appreciate it. Like Follow Daughter, it's about a high school girl. Father left her to become a full-time superhero. Everyone in the world loves him except for her. And then she inherits his abilities. So here is some of the covers we got going on. We got a really cool Invulnerable cover. We have our Lofi cover, which is actually doing the best. It's our anime cover. This is our thumbnail
I got, actually.
Right? Oh, you did get that one. Yeah,
I did.
It's a cool one. I enjoy it. It's very different from the other ones. And then we have our Paper Cats Virgin cover. We actually have an announcement coming soon about that cover. So definitely stay tuned for that. I believe it will be announced by next show. And that's our regular cover here. So hopefully you guys can back. If you back even for $1, at this point you're getting 11 free comics. And then if we get $6,000, you'll be getting about 20 free indie comics of big indie hits. So be sure to check out the Kickstarter. It really means the world. And hopefully you enjoy the comic. So we're going to turn over to Brant to talk about the crossover print and his Kickstarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share my screen now. There we go. Yeah, so my comic is The Last Ember Hunted, issue 1 of 4. Technically issue 2 if you did read the last issue. But this starts a brand new arc with a brand new creative team, and I'm really excited about it. Ember is about a teenage girl who inherits these fire abilities and learns later on that she is a fire goddess incarnate, the last of her kind. And in this arc, she is being hunted by a serial killer who is hunting down powered beings like her. And all the while, she's dealing with family drama, school bullies, and so much more. So a lot going on in this book. This is the main cover, which you see 2 versions of it. We're trying to figure out something to do with this. So announcements forthcoming, hopefully with that, to do some cool effect with that. Let's scroll down here, get to see some of the art involved. There's the creative team. This is one of the variant covers we have featuring Tiana, which is her school rival, and she's a major character in this arc and going forward in the series. This is by Francesco Tomaselli. I don't have a bigger picture of the other variant that I have right now, and I have a new variant from Paper Cat coming next week. But there's some of the art for you as well. Just a gorgeous book. I cannot wait to show you guys more. Let me share that print now. Share screen. So if you back Cat's Kickstarter for Like Father, Like Daughter, mine for The Last Ember, and our friend Will's crossover division, you get this gorgeous print that will be colored. This is by the artist of The Last Ember, Federico Sabatini, and it features Casey from Like Father, Like Daughter, Ember from The Last Ember, and Hector and Hank from Crossover Division. Just a gorgeous piece. And you can get it from backing all 3. And I will share Crossover Division real quick so you guys can see that as well.
Yeah, which is a really cool comic, too.
Yeah. And I'll actually post hold on. Cancel that.
Mike, where's your Kickstarter?
Yeah.
I do want to share, though, one thing that did happen today. It's not a Kickstarter, but I actually, this afternoon or this evening, I just hit 8,000 subscribers on my channel.
Congrats! That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Sharing it? That's not sharing it, is it?
Yeah, you are. You're sharing it.
Okay, yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. All right, so yeah, this is Crossover Division. Science fiction and literature collide when stories invade reality, and only 2 bookworms can save the world from an unhappy ending. This particular issue crosses over with War of the Worlds and The Wizard of Oz. So if you're into those properties, you're definitely going to want to check this out. He's got some gorgeous variant covers as well, and I actually letter this book as well as Like Father, Like Daughter. Let me get down to the covers. There's some of the art from the main story. And then here's the backup story that crossover with Wizard of Oz. I think the variant covers are at the bottom. Yeah, so this is by Connor Hughes, who's the artist on White Ash. And it's a gorgeous cover. And this is by Stefan Roux. It's the other variant cover he has. So, yeah, if you back all 3 of these, you'll get that print. So go check those out.
Yeah, go check out all these Kickstarters. We really appreciate it. And
yeah,
like we mentioned, next week, hopefully when me and Branch are on the show, which it seems like you guys want us to be, we'll add your names on the ticker tape as well. If you donate, just let us know you have donated, and we'll look at our Kickstarters to see how much you donated and all that fun jazz. Or if you don't want us to let people know how much you donated, we don't have to put it on. Just let us know if you don't want that. But we really appreciate the support. And me and Brant's been working really, really hard, just making the comic, doing these Kickstarters. It's a 24-hour job, and we're really excited about it.
It's 36 hours a day, 8 days a week job.
Exactly, honestly, on top
crazy.
of our actual jobs. So
yeah,
not that Kickstarter is not part of our actual jobs, but we also have
mine. It literally is.
True, literally, yeah, yeah. So that's cool. Oh, we do have a question for Asking Down. you should put in the link to buy the past issues. You don't buy issues 1 through 6 on the Kickstarter, do you? You actually do.
You
so
can.
We have
yeah.
So you actually, there's a digital bundle for $25. Get all 1 through 7, and for the physical issues, it's $40. You get the trade issues 5, 6, and 7. And honestly, it's better if you do support it through the Kickstarter. It helps me out. It helps everybody out. I do have an Etsy as well, but again, it really does help better if you support it through the Kickstarter.
Yeah, and same with the Last Ember. There are tiers where you can get Last Ember Reforged, which combines 0 and 1 from the previous issues of the Last Ember in both digital and physical as well. And like Kat, I also have an online shop, but it does help very much to do it through the Kickstarter. So,
yep, and that's it for us. And pass it on to Mike to close it out.
All right, guys. So that was another episode of Comic Book Weekly. Hopefully you enjoyed all our great discussion today, whether it was the top 5, the news, the X-Men, analyzation, all the good Kickstarter stuff. These guys work really hard to do what they do, and I just wanted to say congratulations to you guys. You guys, again, work really hard. These guys are my best friends. I'm honored to have them on the show with me, and we've been doing this a long, long time.
yeah.
And guys, again, thumbs up, subscribe to the channels, both of them, Comic Frontline, my channel as well. I won't see you guys next week on here, but these guys will be on here. So until next time, guys, this is all of us signing off. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm telling you that right now.
Happy Thanksgiving, just in case. Bye, everybody.